Am I the only one, or does anyone know that the USFL is back and that they actually had a draft? And for those of you that don't know, and I could be aging myself, the USFL was out, I believe inaugurated in 82, 83, I want to say, and went into like 84, maybe 85, I want to say, maybe 84. Maybe 9 to 18 teams, just off top of my head, Tampa Bay Bandits, New Jersey Generals, maybe the Philadelphia Stars. I'm not sure, but I mean, the league just didn't do anything. You know, they drafted players from college. They had a lot of ex-players that were kind of on the downside of their careers, and the league needed star power, and so they get big names to sign. I think the guys that came out of college and signed, Herschel Walker was the biggest name back then. Mike Rozier, I think he played with them. He actually ended up going to the NFL, Mike Rozier did. But the big names were Herschel Walker, Jim Kelly, Steve Young, Reggie White. Hall of Famers outside of Herschel Walker. But they're starting this thing back up again, and they actually had a draft, and none of the sports shows are talking about it. I just kind of was skimming through online, and USFL's back. I know there's been chatter and talk about it, but it's almost like, who cares? You know, I understand if you're on the downside of your career. I think they even tried to pay Walter Payton to come and play, and they offered him back then like $2 million in, 82, 83, for a contract. And he thought about it, but stayed with the Bears. But is anybody going to watch this thing? Give me a comment in the comments. Who's going to watch that? I mean, I remember WWE becoming WWF back then, just becoming large, and then turning into WWE, and then TNA happens, and it blows up for a minute, and then nothing. And TNA is still around, but can't want to get into comparisons of AEW, WWE, and I understand they're neck and neck in their ratings and back and forth, but it's a lot different from how it was when we were coming up. But the NFL, I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. I mean, the XFL came out, Vince McMahon, that bombed. I think there were some lawsuits going on with the NFL and USFL back then, but who's going to watch this? Who in their right mind is going to watch this? I don't even know if they have a USFL Hall of Fame. Last I heard, I think Bobby Hebert was their leading passer. He ended up going to the Saints, and he was a decent quarterback. He wasn't just a ham and egger, as Bobby Heenan would say. He was somebody. And he had good numbers. I think, all-time leading passer, passing yardage. Herschel Walker, I just know he played for the New Jersey Generals. All-time leading rusher, all-time leading attempts. Came to the Dallas Cowboys and was just, got to thank Herschel Walker for that big trade. The last thing Jerry Jones did that was decent. But nobody's going to watch this. None of the sports shows are talking about it. The USFL is going to come and go. I'd rather watch Canadian Football League. That's just my rant.